we have to meet, I'm gonna do outreach, we're gonna meet with LA Family Housing that does outreach, other programs that does outreach, so we can go ahead and inform these people about the voucher program and make sure they get signed up to services, because a lot of people don't even know what services are out there. I only have 5 copies of each of the vehicle dwellings, so if you are interested in seeing it, I have one for the West Valley, Topanga Canyon, as well as Granada Hills, Devonshire Division. There's not much, and also, like Louis told us last time, there are some businesses that are actually painting their curbs red. So I'm not sure how if that ends up in ticketing and citations as well, because some people don't know that. So that's an issue we have to keep an eye on. Let people know if they are parked there and they know it's legal. If they get a ticket, they need to take a picture and document it, because this isn't right. This shouldn't be going on. Also, the paint they're using to paint the curb might not be the right type, because when it gets wet, it gets slippery. A lot of people might know that, so that's a hazard as well. So I'll just leave the vehicle dwellings over there.
And there's also a website that if you need, there's that website. That's how I get it. I just go to the website. It's Zymus, something like that.
I have these two that have the website on it.
And then in case they can't, because then you can go to any area, you put in your zip code and it'll give you all the green, yellow, and red areas in your zip code.
And as far as safe parking goes, did you want to talk about that real quick, Kevin?
I don't have much to report on it other than I heard that this morning in City Council, which meets at 10 a.m., they are supposed to be voting on, we're somewhere in the process of LAHSA's recommendations for safe parking. That's been going through the process for quite some time. So my understanding is today they're going to be making some progress on moving the next steps forward on trying to make that more codified and specific. So, I don't know where that means. I don't know if voting on it and if they vote yes means it's a law, or if it means that they send it on to the next part of the process. So I only know a little bit, but I know that today is supposed to be an important vote on safe parking in City Council. And I'm happy to find out more and let you know, and you can spread the word to everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get more information.
I'm waiting for that.
Yeah, that's been something that we've all been pressing for quite a while. So excited to hear that it's moving forward today.
Yeah. And also, like I said, on those faith-based organizations, if they want to apply for safe parking, it could be, I believe, even just 20 cars. It doesn't have to be a lot. So we need to get involved with that. And also, the safe parking also does come with a caseworker, a housing navigator. They help with DMV registrations to keep the car running.
Driver's license, renewal, and insurance.
Yeah. So it's a lot of stuff. And security. I think it was like $70,000 allocated for a year for security. Maybe? Yeah. So that's a huge thing, because a lot of people aren't going to, if they don't hear the word security or enforcement, they're going to be, no, we don't want it. So it's going to be maintained, okay, for the safety of everybody. Okay. So thank you guys for coming to these meetings. If you know groups that want to also have discussions about it, maybe host it in like a backyard setting, I'll be more than willing to come. Because this is grassroots. This is what it needs. I like the one-on-one stuff. Oh, and I said this last time, and when you do go to the churches or any of the programs, can you also spread the word to add missing and homeless on Facebook? Because it's a nationwide issue, and there's people that are constantly looking for people, and so there might be people that are going into those feeding programs and stuff that are missing. I have some friends that once the shelters closed, I still can't find them, and I'm just hoping someone will contact me so I can find them if they're alive. Okay, landlord engagement. Okay, this is going to kind of work in with the Clean Streets program. Basically, maybe I'll talk about that after Don talks about his program. But is there any, you guys want to talk about anything? Maybe do some back and forth on ideas?
I know my group that I work with called the Oak Roots is actually talking about doing a really free market where you just get whole events to get clothes and food donated. So once we get that off the ground, I can let Natalie and let you know about when we're gonna do that, how often we're gonna do that.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, because we need, I know I do outreach with like 6 or 7 groups, and we kind of also focus on the same areas, the 405. I think we need to start spreading out a little bit more and servicing more people.
And we'll talk about that now with this.
Yeah.
So, in West Hills, besides supporting Councilman Blumenfeld's council file on finding dump stations, mobile dump stations, we are starting, we're trying to pass through our neighborhood council a resolution strongly requesting safe parking zones and temporary housing in the West Valley, because I'm concerned, we are all concerned about the growing, how should we say, the urgency that is developing within our communities, and we want to be able to calm that down a little bit by providing the services that homeless folks need, but also as well as our housed folks need in order to take a balanced approach to solving homelessness. So that's one of the things we're doing. We're holding an interfaith council in September. Mr. Taylor, as representative, will be there talking to our faith-based folks on how they can help in getting them involved. But I will send out the information, this information to them so that they can start doing it. And thank you, because we're also going to be surveying them before that meeting. We started a Hug Who program, and we call it Homegrown West Hills Outreach. And what we do is we are monitoring social media, because that's where we find a lot of the more outrageous statements on what to do about homeless folks.
You found mine, did you?
No, I didn't. I don't know if I found yours or not, but there are several of them out there. I'm sure you're all aware of them. And so what we try to do with Hug Who is, in our area where we can work with a homeowner or a housed person and the homeless community and the appropriate agency, we try to make sure that those connections are made, and we close the loop, getting the information back to the housed people so that they see and can feel that somebody is paying attention. That's one thing. That's another reason we need safe housing and temporary bridge housing. So we have someplace, so our police officers have someplace to move, to ask folks to go to. So they're safe, so the neighborhoods are safe. We also would like to see Dawn's program come out to the West Valley and have the homeless start working with our beautification program. They go out every week and clean the streets, taking down weeds and keeping our community looking really good. And that way, we would be happy to give you PR showing it's a community project, all right? And I'm hoping that my sister neighborhood councils will engage in working with Don and his folks. So that's what we're doing, and we hope to keep working on good, positive solutions. Thanks.
Can I build off of that? So, you had your hand up, sorry. You want to talk?
Well, just very quickly, I may have mentioned this before, but I think we need to approach the malls and the larger strip malls so that people can park in those parking lots that are otherwise unused at night. And, there could be temporary, the mobile restrooms and showers brought in on a periodic basis. I know, and I believe I have mentioned this also, that a lot of homeless people don't want to shower. They don't have a place to lock up their things for fear of having those things stolen while they're taking a shower. So that needs to be considered. But I think it's a shame that we're not making better use of these parking lots. And I know that some places do that already, but this needs to be more widespread.
Absolutely.
So Simone was mentioning some really specific things that their neighborhood council is taking action on, and I know we have at least 2 other neighborhood councils here. You're on your neighborhood council, is that right? So we've got like 5 or 6 neighborhood councils represented. The Valley has 34 neighborhood councils, and some of what someone was asking about are council file numbers for putting in community impact statements. The community impact statement process, for anybody who doesn't know about this, the neighborhood councils are the only entity that's allowed to file a community impact statement with the city council motion. So what happens is, as it goes through the process, the council motions are heard in committees, are heard by the whole city council. The council members see which neighborhood councils have taken action on that. Every time their staff gives them a briefing on, here's the thing we're talking about today, and here's the neighborhood councils that have taken action on that file, and here's the, the action that they took. So they see it through the entire process of which community members spoke up, and the neighborhood councils are really the only entity that have the ability to do it at that level that stays with the council motion. It's not, every email or letter you send in isn't necessarily gonna be something the council members will see, but your neighborhood council's actions will be seen. So it's another way where advocacy for something like exactly what Simone was mentioning, taking action on specific files and asking for action on specific ordinances to move forward, is something that makes an impact. And it gives your council member oftentimes support to be able to take a vote that might be difficult by saying that our community at this level supports it. So it's another really effective way to use the system that's in place to be an advocate, to go to your neighborhood council, ask them to take that action, help them learn about writing a council file motion, a community impact statement if somebody that's working on it doesn't already know, get them through that process. It's really an effective tool.
Yeah, because sometimes just yelling on social media isn't enough. You have to go to your neighborhood council, fill out a speaker card, request what you want, say how you feel. If you don't do that, nothing gets documented, and you might as well be blowing in the air. So you have to go to these, and you have to see what your community is doing. Because if you're not speaking what you want, the people that are there might be saying the opposite of what you want, and the neighborhood council is saying this is what the community wants. You have to go to them, guys. Get involved in your community. Thank you for that. Okay, Brad, I know you might have to leave. Do you want to say something right now?
Oh, you want me out now?
No, I'm saying, we're about to go into the next part of the presentation, but I want to make sure
Go ahead.
if you want to talk about anything.
I'm a little afraid too, because right now I'm very, very angry at what's going on at our particular location. And we lost another guy today, and it's one that I actually brought into the program naively enough. He was a friend of mine, and he came in at where it's going really badly right now, and I mean even worse than it was when I first got there. But I'm kind of a nasty guy, so I can deal with that kind of shit. But when it's getting the way it is now, they really need to be investigated, to be honest. It's United States Mission. We're 7522 Independence Avenue. You probably heard of it.
I became aware of it because of you.
Okay, you should. This is one I think you should be looking at.
Yeah, because right now it's actually acting like a sweatshop.
Yeah.
That's what's on.
Our superintendent of the house does not drive. So anytime he needs something, even something as such as tea or something, and he doesn't want to walk to the store, he'll get one of us to drive. I'm supposed to take over the driving. What we do, just so you know, is we canvass door to door, and I'll probably be at your house today.
No, you won't.
Yeah, that's exactly what we get out there.
Yeah.
We canvass for the missions. We have 6 houses. The closest one here is in Canoga Park. We canvass to get money to keep the houses open. I mean, that's the rumor anyway. I'm not entirely sure that's true. And we do get a proportion of the proceeds that we get. But, like I said, bear with me, I'm a little pissed off right now.
Can I ask you what you're saying right away? I'll give you a second to calm down. Kevin, this program over here, there's some guy further up the chain who is
Paul Shine, he was accused.
he's buying houses, kind of subletting them out for this program. They're making these guys go out to sell them. And he's making all the dough on it because he's now got the equity of those houses that they're paying for. There's something wrong with what that program is. Now, I've been looking into it myself, but I really think, Kevin, there's a real thing here that you should
I'm sorry, I
pass
thought
this
you were,
through.
I
Okay?
thought you were talking about the accusations of our superintendent of solicitation,
Yes.
who was accused of sexual harassment
Yeah, that's
at
other
least.
stuff. So-
There's also that as well. He's no longer at our house, He's now in San Diego, but he basically still runs our house.
Yeah, there's problems here that I think many of us in the other community are.
Yeah, in cases like this, the best first contact, in my opinion, is the neighborhood prosecutor that's at the specific
I think maybe
LAPD
just help
station.
too.
Okay. I'll definitely
Yeah,
help see
it's
how I
a
can
follow-up
look into it.
thing that I don't wanna let them go.
Just so you know, I can't get to a lot of these meetings that you have, the neighborhood council meetings and such,
Understandably,
because I work to 8 o'clock.
Mhm.
And I could be in Woodland Hills, I could be in West Hills, which I am right now, or Newport Beach. You never know where you're gonna end up. They take you to where they think the money is, and basically work your keister off. You get 2 meals a day, you get a roof over your head, and you get a good supply of bed bugs and roaches throughout the house, which if we want to take care of, we have to spray our own stuff. And I don't know if you know, I know this is a little nauseous to deal with, but just so you know, to handle bed bugs, you have to completely do the entire house, all the wardrobe, everything. Now you've got guys in there that are basically mentally handicapped or criminal or just plain lazy, that don't want to chip in. So you're never going to get rid of these things. I've sprayed my own stuff twice. I wash constantly, and you can't get rid of them. And it's not a concern of the people that run the place, because they keep their areas separate from us. So
What was the address again?
It's 7522 Independence Avenue.
Thanks.
And
In
I'm
what
kind
city?
of, it's Canoga
Canoga
Park.
Park.
I'm kind of between a rock and a hard place myself, because anything I say will immediately cause me to get booted out of the house, but at this point I'm tired of it. I would prefer to be on the street.
When you said that you lost somebody, do you mean through death?
Oh, yeah, there was also that. That was about 2 weeks, 2 weeks ago? A kid I trained, very good kid. He had an opiate problem, and he decided one night that through a lot of abuse, verbal, that he was getting, he decided he would go out and do a straight heroin. And he locked himself in the bathroom. Now I was trying to keep him on the straight and narrow, because like I said, he was a good kid. But I noticed after about an hour of the light being on in the bathroom, these guys might be doing something, to get a little relief, so to speak. So I kind of left it alone. But then another half hour, light was still on, so I broke into the bathroom, and I found him sprawled out over the tub, and his aluminum foil had been burnt through, and so I grabbed him and I tried to resuscitate him. It's too late, he was dead. So,
And from my understanding, he wasn't even homeless, and the house manager accepted it in, because you don't turn people away.
well, his father and mother were very wealthy people, and they actually offered him a program, like a $100,000 program. But instead of making him go into the program and doing it, they just offered it to him. And if you're hooked on something, you're gonna find the most easiest escape. And it's like, no, let me go over here, I can do this. Which means I got my freedom here, I can go do my drugs. And they let him do it. Now, just last week, his father somehow, I guess, got his phone and got a hold of me, and I was all over his phone. Anything he needed, he would ask me, not the supervisor, superintendent, me. And his father actually came and congratulated me, and I felt like complete shit, because I felt like, and I still do feel like I feel. But he said that according to KK, that was the guy, Kalush, the kid, I was the only guy there that cared. And like I said, right now I'm just a raging mess, and something needs to happen. I mean, I used to be a decent person.
You
Now
are.
I don't feel like I am.
You are. So Brad has followed me. He hasn't spent one night on the streets yet. He was there when the shelters were open. He tried to resuscitate that guy. So the thing is,
Worked
thank
in
you.
West Hollywood once, I saved a woman there,
Yeah,
but I
you're
couldn't
very brave
get
for
him
doing
back.
this. So if anyone's going to take action on this, we need to make sure if that house gets shut down, Brad has a place to go.
Right.
Not just
What
me,
he's
there's
saying-
other good people in there.
There's a
that
lot
are
of
gonna
different
be
people.
there.
So,
Right now, it's down to probably 8. I actually escaped from there this morning. They wanted us to go out and do recruiting for the house. You know, not the superintendent, not the house manager, us. And then go out and work in the afternoon.
so you guys keep it in your minds if you see anything open. The reason why he doesn't have a job is because if he gets a job and can't miss those same hours, he can't live at the house.
Right, I
So-
get kicked out.
So please, you guys, pray for him. Keep him in your ideas and your
Oh,
thoughts.
don't
on it.
pray,
You guys
please
can-
don't pray for me.
Okay,
Let's make something happen.
But
Well, let's
if anybody-
applaud him for his
But thank you
efforts.
for sharing. Thank you for sharing. So there's lots of programs that I'm hearing that aren't working and the benefit for people. And so this program that we're about to talk about is something it's going to help people. So
Yeah.
Don, you want to start off?
Okay. From the last time we all met and to now, Laura has come on to our foundation, which is the Northridge Beautification Foundation. And we have this program that you all have in front of you, Clean Streets, Clean Starts. And you also have another file there that's a little bit about the stuff that we've done in Northridge. The idea of Clean Streets, Clean Starts is a way to start something. We can all go to meetings a lot, but we gotta start something, right? Now, Laura and I have been working on this, and the idea is that we're going to make a big stab at getting this under kind of new direction from the 405 to the hills. So we're taking the West Valley here, Kevin, all right? And Laura is, obviously an advocate and all that. I'm a good worker and I know how to organize stuff. So from last time, you know that this idea of Clean Streets, Clean Starts is bringing people into a program that I run the street work. So we come into like Northridge, Reseda Boulevard, which is this whole thing here. Okay, and some of you know the area. Stephanie sure knows the area. And we have like really turned around much of Reseda Boulevard now. And we keep getting bigger. People keep asking for more, right? The 3 Northridge councils we have here are all very unified now. You can see as I send pictures of what I do sometimes to Kevin and others. You know, I'm up on Tampa working, I'm on Reseda Boulevard. We're all around, specifically Northridge. The program is set up so that we have, and we can tailor this to whatever community we have. But the way we run it is twice a week for roughly 3 hours of work. And we break it up into a 2-day thing, so it's a Tuesday and a Thursday. It's very important to keep a 2-day project going, so it breaks up the habits of people who are homeless, right? You gotta break it up. You guys know this stuff. We all kinda know what this means. So you make it so that it's a Monday and a Wednesday or a Thursday, whatever you wanna do. You get someone like me, we're going to try to work on this, we gotta replace me. This is too big for just one person. So we're gonna do that. They're out there. So then from there, after a 3-hour or 2-hour job work, which is picking up, cleaning up, painting up a specific street that you go to every time. Now what works with this is that it begins to make a relationship between the homeless, people who come out to work, and the businesses. It's making a bridge here. That's very important to this thing. It's not just that we're out there picking up, otherwise anybody can do that. We have to make a good relationship with the businesses that are there. Stephanie's our Chamber of Commerce for Northridge. We all understand this, right? So we concentrate on a certain area and keep that up. That's very important. After, let's say, a period of time with me, 2 or 3 hours, then we turn them over to Laura now. We used to work with the San Fernando Mission, but now Laura's come on as a specific advocate with us. And then we'll spend another hour in working out the next phases, which is moving everybody into regular jobs and housing. So we're advocating and navigating would be the right word for that to happen. So we have this small thing that works very well. And it doesn't matter how many people you have. If you got one person or 15 people, it doesn't matter. It matters that you start and get something going and get your community councils involved. Now, our goal here is to get all the community councils across the West Valley, and I think we have about 20 of them on the from west of the 405. Is that about right?
16, 17, something.
17. And we are now working with the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment, Semi Park over in Van Nuys, who's now the manager for the Valley councils. So, and they have made part of their mandate to all the councils to have someone in every council now as a representative or an advocate for the homeless programs. Right, like Simone, okay, and Nick. Okay, so those things are happening. We need to make a coordination of those people within each council district, ask them for money to support a program like this. The money that you get goes directly onto that street. Now, the way we do it is we're not really giving out money to anybody. We're not paying people to be out there. We do give out what we call stipends. So we'll give out a gift card of, in our sense, a $25 gift card from Vons or whatever place we have. They can spend that on anything they want, except that we subtract alcohol, tobacco, and lottery tickets from that. They can't do those things. But they can get food this way. So it's a way of getting cash out, or something like cash out. The other thing we do too is to make it like a job, is we provide bus tokens. So every time they come, they get 2 tokens, right? That's $1.75 each. We also provide breakfast for everybody at Joyce's Cafe on Reseda Boulevard, which for us, we have a deal with them, so it's like $5. So I get those guys to come in sometime between 6:30 and 7 or so. It's early, we try to get it early, so the heat and everything else. Get them in there, get something into their stomachs, get them leveled out a little bit, and then I have, I'm organizing the day at that point. So I have all these jobs in mind that I want to get done on our street because I'm watching that street. It's my job to watch that street and clean it. We've coupled this all up with what we call the Great Streets, which was the Mayor Garcetti's initiative, which was his first initiative, I believe, in the city. We ended up being the first great street. Why? Well, we were ready for it, right? We had me and this other woman, Andrea Alvarado, and we had this thing we started. It was originally Sparkle, now it's the Foundation. So we were prepared to handle this idea. Well, we've taken that idea and gone completely off with it. It's turned into something important. Our whole community recognizes it, so there's leadership involved. Then later, when also the mayor's office, we had this opportunity through sanitation for a $5,000 grant that it was a grant of a determined amount of money, but we got $5,000 for training homeless men and women into a program of cleaning the Great Street, right? That worked for everybody. The mayor's office loved it, all the councilmen loved it, all these people in the political sense, wow, this is a really good thing. Now from there, we've actually been out raising money on this on our own now and advocating differently than that. And we're doing very well with that part. But we know how much it costs. We know how long it takes. So I can run a program for 6 weeks, 3 hours a day, twice a week, with an advocate with me, and do this work, make sure we have the next steps of housing and looking for job opportunities. We have that in line. It gets better and better and better, but you got to start somewhere. So that costs, how much that costs? For 6 weeks, if I've got 10 people, I work with 10 maximum. Sometimes it's more, but we try to keep 10. That cost me $4,300. It's $33.50 a day. That's pretty good. That's a good, cheap price. Now, we don't get paid anything. We're all volunteers to this stuff. But that's what it helps them. It's real direction. It's a new idea. It works with the community and it works with them. So you're doing two good things at one time. I was talking with Simone outside for a second. One of the things that kind of helps us in the sense of making this work is we talk about an area, right? We're talking about that. So it's trimming trees, weeding planters, painting, whatever we need to do, removing graffiti, getting a small area right. And then that just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. We got to start this. So what I want to do, and that's what we've started to talk about, is how we're going to get involved, and that's where we went over to Semi Park. We've been talking with her about this. And especially right here, I've got at least 4 councils groups in front of me right now. We had a special meeting with Nick over here a few weeks ago at his restaurant to talk about this. We want to get this going, but if we can all kind of make that our focus here, the rest of the issues around us will fall into place. We have to take that position for ourselves of changing a bit of the attitude toward homeless people, right? There's a PR problem here. They have a PR problem. We've got to change that a little bit. We have to show the cooperation between local, citizens and their business districts and clean them up and get ourselves out there. Now we have these aprons that we have that Starbucks gave us. We have an American flag up here. It's this thing we keep their clothes the best we can clean. All right? That's also part of this thing. There's so many parts of this thing that will get better for all of us if we make a start. This has to be a beginning point. It's not the end point of anything. It's the beginning point of something. If I can get this room on a regular basis to get together here every month, if we can meet and focus on making this happen, you're going to do well. Your community is going to get better. We're going to have better advocacy from groups like you. All those things will begin to target. We've already discussed how do we get more shower units out? How do we get washing and dryers out there? I know that right now over at the Mission it costs them $26,000 for a shower. I can do that for $1,000. Right? I can get, for $26,000, I can get 26 of those out. We only have 2 showers in the valley here, and they're hard to get out. I could do better than that. Nick.
I had a meeting with a couple of the churches there in Chatsworth, and I don't know if you guys know who Pastor Justice is. We're a young kid. He's he's on it. And what he does, and he goes out to the different laundromats. We have 2 laundromats in Chatsworth, and he offers anybody, free laundry.
Yeah.
They go ahead, they have a bunch of quarters, and anybody that comes in there, and he does that every month.
And that may be the most direct way of getting started with that. Is saying, I can do that. I can get quarters in everybody's hands for that. We'd be glad to do that, right? The second part of that is to try to get showers out, right? But getting clothes done and, making that part, if we all start talking about that together and we say that's our focus, there's a good idea. Let's make that happen. Once a week it goes on to Devonshire and you've got that particular group of people. As they're working, here's your quarters, we're going to get your clothes done at the same time, we're going to be right there with you. Works. We have to, as Laura says, and we're all out this idea of grassroots stuff. This is it. And it does mean a lot of it with our councils that are here. And also, as Laura says, with just regular citizens that can show up. Nick. Nick, we've had talks now with Nick, and I've been including Nick in a lot, so Nick's...
We're trying to, one of the things that with the Clean Streets thing is we're trying to find a replacement, or we're trying to clone it, right?
Yeah, I got a guy, in fact, I think we're gonna like.
But I was thinking that, there's a lot of folks, like I can go to my neighborhood council and ask for somebody to ramrod this thing. I wish I could, but I'm already involved in a lot of stuff.
You're doing a lot.
And our Kiwanis Club does our own beautification stuff with the high schoolers. But I was thinking about time, Because a lot of folks, you know, if you go to the neighborhood council, a lot of folks, you know, either work or they don't have that kind of time, or they're not willing to give that kind of time. But I know that some of the people that we're trying to help, the homeless, some of these guys are coming out of, you know, either the service or, you know, there's something happened, and they can organize,
That's right.
you know. So what my thought is that why don't we put one of them in charge?
Now, I've also had that same idea, and I've tried to work with that. Hasn't worked out that well. It doesn't mean it won't work out well later. Is that one of the things about this that's important is having real community people from that area doing it. It makes it, there's the bridge.
Well, see, the thing.
But you're right, Nick, it's the way to go, but
But
it's
the way I was thinking about it is that if we were to get somebody that was able to organize, you know,
and we'll help, I mean, I'm
yeah, because like our neighborhood council, our Kiwanis, you know, we go to our neighborhood our councilman, and we're able to get the brakes and all the equipment that we need. We don't have to buy anything,
That's right.
right? Bags and all that stuff. And as far as, you know, like, say for instance, a vehicle to tow that stuff, you know, maybe the neighborhood council can rent a truck one day and be able to tow all the equipment and stuff like that, and we just leave the bags out in the street. That's what y'all do when you clean the streets, right?
Well, we actually,
Sanitation comes and picks them up.
not always. We end up taking a lot of that stuff and we'll find a vacant bag out, trash thing, and we'll dump it in there. Because you're looking, it depends on the area, you're looking at, you know, say in a mile long, you've probably got 15 to 25 bags, and they're half bags. So as you go up, you end up putting them into those bins that are.
Well, that's what,
available.
when we do our clean street, when we do our street cleanup, we put like almost 40 bags out there.
Yeah.
And I call up,
It can be that
I call up
too.
the councilman, and
Yeah.
the next day they'll get the sanitation guys to
Yeah.
go ahead and sweep those things up. But that's been my holdup with this, is because I'm trying to find the right guy to do this, because it has to be the right guy.
I have someone in your area I can talk to you about later
Okay.
that I think might really be the one. And I think you're gonna know who he is.
Okay.
But he's a good guy, and he's a man who's, you know, he has the means to put money into these things too. And he is also a good straight shooter, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna know who it is.
Okay.
But for Nick, I wanna start with Nick right away.
Yeah.
I wanna get to Nick's neighborhood in October. I wanna say because we'll run another one in Northridge in October too. I wanna get there, and Nick, in the beginning, don't worry about tools, don't worry about trucks, I'll go. I'll bring what I've got, I know how, I will get going. And if I can get the right guy with me, he has a truck, and he has tools, and we don't mind getting that part. But for Nick and Nick's in Chatsworth, that's very possible for us to jump on this. Otherwise, for the rest of this West Valley, and that's a good send-off part, I'm looking at the first of next year to be saying, I want 10 councils in the West Valley on this program.
Yeah.
Now, Simone, when I was with Simone outside, it may be that Simone's group is actually ready
We
for
are.
something sooner, right?
Yeah, we could do it next month. We could incorporate you next month.
Right, well, there we go. And in a beginning phase of this stuff, we would be, you know, I'm willing, if I coordinate my time right, I can spend a couple days of work in your neighborhoods for that time. I think I'd have to be meeting with a few of you to be specific about what area we're doing. Laura has to be involved with that, because we have to go find those men and women that are mostly from that area. We try to make it local so that it's the same guys you see that are camping out at 7-Eleven.
Right.
Those are the ones we're looking at to try to bring them in. So it really becomes a very, very local thing. Right. Kevin?
Don, I really, really love this program, and just want to say thanks for all the long-standing perseverance you put into not just this program.
I never stop.
But everything you've been doing in Northridge for years to build this up and to bring in more advocates to grow it. So I've been kind of quietly working on some of the stuff on this program for the last few months.
Yeah.
Spoken with Wade at the San Fernando Valley Rescue Mission a few times on it, just to give you a sense of some other opportunities here. I've met about Clean Streets with the Canoga Park Improvement Association.
Okay.
who is, a business improvement district basically, who has a team that goes out and does this work.
Okay.
They're interested, they would like to participate. I brought in Councilmember Lumenfield's office to
I want to get him.
to the rescue mission to try to make that partnership happen.
When did
so
you do
they-
that?
It's maybe 3 or 4 months ago.
Okay.
So more help, I tried to get it rolling to move that forward, and I got a lot of yeses. We just didn't get to the point of where the next you has taken it that next step. So I want to connect you with all of the partners there.
Right.
I was also able to, I was approached by Shepherd of the Hills Church who wanted to participate in stuff like this.
Shepherd of the Hills up here.
Yeah, in Porter Ranch, and so they actually raised about $8,000 that's going to go directly towards this program. I think they're cutting a check any day now on that.
Yeah, and I'm looking for that too. Because Kevin, we have been partners of the mission once we started this.
Yeah.
We have separated a little bit
Okay.
because we become more aggressive, right? The mission, because they are a big organization and with Wade and stuff, and with CD12, they're a little more conservative than we want to be. I'm not willing to wait very long to make these things happen, right? I want to get at it, and I appreciate your helping in that sense.
Yeah.
But what I got to get to is I got to get, we've already got Northridge going, but I got to get Chatsworth happening. I got to get West Hills happening. If you've got on-roads to me to Canoga Park, let's hit it.
Yeah.
And I've run into Mr. Blumenfield a couple of times. I know he knows a little bit who I am. Get me to the front of this guy and let's get going. Just like Mitch, who's on our side, but we've had to back away from this simply because with Laura and this kind of a thing, it's a little more edgy than most of us are ready for, right? We have to advocate a little harder, and it's a little harder for the mission and those people that are bigger and more formal to get to move as quickly as what we want to.
I think that just a little bit more information on that. The way I understand it is the council districts in the city participating a little bit more. Some of the holdups were for a pretty good reason, and it's that that the mayor opened the Office of Reentry, where connecting people with job opportunities coming out of prisons in particular has been a big priority for him. And so using those mechanisms in place of connecting people with employment, there's some barriers that are difficult to get through with the application process.
Right.
The same thing that we experience a lot with people that are experiencing homelessness. So I think that some of the stumbling points were making the barriers of that program a little bit less high, so that we could scale it up citywide in a bigger way. So your desire to be edgier about it and just go for it and get it rolling is fantastic. And I think you can do it maybe without some of the bigger tools that might be in place,
That's
and it
right.
might build up into those things that will still continue to happen
That's why we say start.
quietly, or through policy shops
right.
to try to get to that point.
That's why we say start. Don't wait. We can't do this anymore. It's all going on all around us. We've made a good little program in Northridge. It's working. It's a good idea.
It's
It
fantastic.
made us. Kevin drives up and down there all the time. Oh, I got my partner here, Stephanie.
I just want to say, I'm president of the Northridge Chamber. I also sit on the board of my neighborhood council and the Northridge South. And I've been sitting on the board for about a year, and I see people coming in asking for all kinds of contribution, donations for their things. And Don is the only person I've seen come in that has anything to do with the homeless, but his main thing was cleaning up the streets. I have lived here my whole life in Northridge, and since he's been doing the streets, because I know in the past couple of years that the homeless has gotten more, that's gotten more out in the valley, and just by the cleaning up and using the homeless people, I've sat with them a couple times. I've met up with for breakfast and talked to them. It's a great thing, and I think it helps the homeless people feel good about themselves as contributing to the society. The problem I have is there's not enough people that are willing to get involved. Everybody wants to complain about it, come to the council, say, I have this problem, I have this, I have this. And I think that the neighborhood councils, the chambers, anybody that has anything to do with the community needs to be at these meetings. We need to find a solution. We need to, instead of bitch and complain about it and have meeting after meeting after meeting, as Don says, it needs to be done. And I think that we need to get the word out to everybody, even the businesses, you know, that it affects. You know, because I get a lot of complaints during the day, you know, phone calls, and it, you know, I try to do as much as I can to point people in the right direction. If they need hours, I send them to Dawn, and I try to work with all, you know, different entities to solve this. But I think as us sitting here, I've been listening to everybody and looking around the room. You know, you have residents, business, you know, people from government, and I know there's a lot of bureaucracy as far as paperwork goes and things like that to get things going. But I think we all need to be involved and just need to get the word out. I know with the neighborhood councils, I've noticed just for the past year that a lot of people come in and complain, but there hasn't really been too much with the homeless. I'm getting it outside, so I think I'm going to address it with my neighborhood council when we
And I'll be at that next neighborhood council because I'm going to be giving, and with all the councils that are around, one of the things that, again, Kevin is one of these guys who sees a lot of my photos that come out. I have a very good relationship with street services. I mean, I really like working with these guys. It makes such a difference. It makes such a difference to have real contact. I go out to the councils and I'll, as a beautification thing, I can sit, and I'm doing it with your council next month, is I can go out and say, okay, here's how you take down the paper off the poles, the street poles. Go out and do it. Here's how you take a little gray paint and rub off a little graffiti. This is the elementary part of doing this, but it begins to engage regular people into that cleanup. So you're out your walk, pick up a little trash, take a little stick with you. If you want to be a little more aggressive, here's how you paint a fire hydrant yellow again, you know? Do those things. All that adds up. That all adds up. Makes a cleaner city for us, makes it better. The next phases of that is when you start having, for us, it's this thing, where you see where we're producing all this work, right? This is from our, and here's our, on the back side of this one is our Clean Streets program. We should all be doing this. This is how you get it done. And it begins to, in a community like all of our councils here, it begins to give you that opportunity to look up above what you got, up above the trash in the streets, picking up, and then you can start talking about a little artwork. Right? All of us all like this part too. Let's do that. Now, in my groups, as I coordinate with my homeless groups, I add them into any of my projects that are like this, right? Therefore, when they go into helping me put the horse in and getting the corral made and all that stuff, they're helping me. They're doing the work with me. Then they come back to that place afterwards and says, I did that. I'm part of this, right? In fact, they are an integral part of this, right? So it makes them lift up. It helps everybody else around you. Then you get to say this stuff out loud. Yep, we're helping. And it's got artwork in front of it. We're doing a better job. All those parts are making our own little cultures, our own little neighborhoods right. Critical. That's what the councils are supposed to be doing. That's what we keep talking about. But as of yet, I have not seen anything like the Great Streets Clean Starts happen. But we can. And I'm very willing to get out to at least those first 3 or 4. I will go to them myself. I'll bring my truck and my tools and my experience. I know I can get all the plastic bags I want from downtown for trash, and we'll get them going. Laura and I will get there, and we'll make this part happen. If we can get 4 or 5 up, maybe by the end of this year, well, that's pretty good. I would be very happy with that. Kevin, if you can help out more with your advocacy behind the scenes on that, that's what I need. And talk to Semi, because now, see, they all have, even within Dunn, they have a special person now who's only dealing with homeless in Dunn. So that person will soon join us on the West Valley here. Sir.
So we're in Woodland Hills, and currently it seems like we have bad PR going
Yeah,
on.
of
So
course.
I really, when I saw this in the email, I thought, man, I gotta get over here and check it out, have you guys come out to Woodland Hills, because it's a place where homeless are getting a bad rap. I mean, I know there's good and bad and everything,
Yeah.
but I think a program like this would show the community that we're actually a community.
Yeah.
Because it's like us against them, and it's not. We're all in the same spot. So
That's
I would
right.
like to get them involved. We have a beautification team, and when we go out and do our beautification, it's usually people on the neighborhood council. We can actually be doing something that's a benefit
Right.
to the homeless. So I really like this idea. I hope we can get started.
What's your name?
Raymond Cole.
Raymond?
Cole.
And I'm Don Larson.
Thanks,
All
Don.
right. And I suppose one of the things that from this group now is we have to be a group. So we have to meet once a month, right? It has to stay like this. I like this room. If it's convenient for everybody, we could probably keep this room. I wanted to have that first meeting up at CD12 because I have some allegiance to CD12. On the other hand, this is a nice independent place too. CD12 will show up here too. As long as I've got Kevin in the room and a couple of other people, we're okay, right? But we need to
You think?
we need to work at it. Right now, we need to say, when are we next month? Are we gonna do this on a regular basis? Are we gonna do the 28th of each month? What is it gonna be? We gotta make a schedule out. I wanna keep this schedule in line at least through December. By December, maybe by then, I'll have 3, 4, 5 of us here right now, including you in Woodland Hills. Maybe we can get a couple of those things up. And honestly, folks, we don't need any more than a couple of people to start. Let's not get overwhelmed with big ideas here. Let's start small. This is micromanagement, not macromanagement. This is micro stuff. We can be very effective at that level. Sir.
I had a few questions on it. I think this program is incredible, but one, are there any regulations you guys came into that we should be aware of, like as we're looking for patches? Like, did you have to talk to a bunch of business
No.
owners? Do you have
No.
to worry about painting?
Public sidewalk, public,
Okay.
right?
So you're able to
Don't
go-
need a thing. And you know what? If I run into something, then I'll address it.
Okay.
I don't have that. You know what? No one's gonna complain when you paint the fire plug yellow again. Everybody's gonna love that because it's probably got graffiti. Are we supposed to do that? No. But can you get a yes to do that by anybody? You can't get a yes from the fire department, you can't get a yes from Public Works. There's 2 different organizations that run that plug, right? It's a crazy thing, okay? And you can't get a yes. So what?
Right. Okay.
Fix it. And if you've got graffiti on the ground, we don't need to report it. Fix it right now. Also, then when you can begin, and I would really encourage, like, one of my best new ones is the Tampa Boulevard up here. And that's with Northridge West Neighborhood Council. Now, I've been up there for a while. We're redoing all of the medians from Rinaldi to Devonshire on Tampa. Now they're big. And I've started that. That's already going. With my street services guys who love to work with me, we've cleaned all those off. I go out there with a weed whacker. I've cut the trees myself, brought everything into condition to do it. Now it wasn't that hard. In fact, I like doing it. This last week, yesterday, we brought out mulch from the city, good stuff. We started the top meeting, and that top meeting is already done. We put water on too. We got a slow drip system now that the city was able to deal with us on. They'll do that part. The old systems of that, sprinkler systems, they're off. They're never gonna turn those on again. But for things that are really managing water better, we can do that. Now, that is going, and you know where I got those guys thinking now? I'm gonna turn all the way, that Tampa Boulevard, all the way down into a topiary garden. I'm gonna do it based on the Chinese calendar. I'm gonna have dragons and horses and pigs and roosters, and they're gonna be all the way down that, and it's gonna be it will be one of the high points in the valley to go look at. Now that's gonna take me a couple of years, but I've made those people in Northridge West move their eyes up, lift themselves up for a little better vision of their area, and I've got all that other help out here with my homeless crowd. Who's the hero? They are, right? We got to do the same thing with these councils too, because I'm a little tired of all the bitching that goes back and forth between them. We can't get anything done in these rooms. We got people in Van Nuys suing each other. in councils because, well, I don't like that guy. I grew up with him and he's no good. Oh my
There was-
God!
At the Canoga Park Council meeting the other night, there was a altercation out in front after the homeless presentation. so-
We gotta stop that stuff.
Yay!
Yeah, so we gotta stop that. So I'm saying, right now, Laura, get your calendar out. The rest of you guys, we're gonna pick a next meeting date, right now. What is it gonna be?
Because I know I got several emails, people wanted to attend, but they, due to the time today, they weren't able to.
Okay, so this is what
Is
month?
Friday
This is
the
July.
best day for everybody? 'Cause
Friday?
Friday's not
Yeah.
good for me.
Okay.
I gotta make at these things too, so.
Wednesdays
what
are
time
good. Anybody?
Wednesdays in the morning? Are we good at Wednesday mornings like this?
Yeah.
Is that good, Laura?
I want to say, I don't know, it's hard to, because some people, they're requesting like after, some people can leave work early, so maybe if it's like an afternoon thing.
How does it work for afternoon for people? Does it work better?
We can try it once, the next
You wanna
one.
make the next one afternoon?
That will work for us.
Afternoons are fine, but not
That-
Wednesdays.
Okay, yeah,
Okay, all right. But you could work in an afternoon, I mean, like, say a 3 o'clock or a 4 o'clock
Yes.
hour for
Okay.
2 hours,
Yeah.
so that we'll make the next one at 4?
Yeah.
Huh? Good? 4 o'clock, and then what's the date? Pick a date, people.
24th, 31st, or the 7th.
Now, what are those all the, like, Thursdays or Wednesdays?
Those are all Thursdays.
Okay, are we good
August.
here?
Thursdays are good for me.
Huh?
Anytime Thursday's good for me.
Thursday? Thursday?
24th?
Thursday the 24th?
24th, is that it?
Yeah.
Thursday the 24th, 4 o'clock, and we will try to make this room again. All right? Nick, are you leaving me?
I have to.
Yeah, I know. I'll talk to you. I'll come and see you soon.
Okay.
I'm gonna see you right away. All right, and we'll get going. And then I'll see you. I see you all the
Bye,
time.
everybody.
Bye, Nick.
Thank you,
Nick.
Nick. Yeah. And then I think that with Simone and with Ray, can you guys make up a special time here? You can talk to Laura. I will come and see you maybe directly. I like to get a better picture of your council and maybe the stumbling parts of some of those things. Kevin, if you can find me time with Blumenfield or his,
Let's find a time with just us first, you and I.
good, no problem.
Laura,
Yep.
let's make a
Okay.
game plan.
Next week?
Yeah.
All right. Laura, Laura will set that up with you.
Okay.
Good, we got it.
For Simone and for Ray and for anybody else.
We said the
in your
24th,
councils.
wait a minute, the 24th, correct? Correct. 24th, 4 o'clock now, and we're gonna try to be here. All right. Sorry.
For anybody with neighborhood councils, the council file motion for the RV dumping, the
Yeah.
thing that Councilmember Blumenfield announced this week, the council file number is 15 dash.
Oh, yeah. 1138S27.
You got it already, huh? Yeah,
She's
so
good.
15 1138 S27.
It's my old street training.
Yeah, you guys.
Okay? Gotta play both.
All right, well, look, I think that I've said enough. We got another meeting date. We'll sit here for a while and we can have our own chatting, but I know that people gotta get to work and do other stuff. So let's call this over. Take the stuff I gave you and take it with you.
So for this program, this is hosted by the county. It's a landlord engagement to talk about the homeless incentive programs, and the next one is September 7th. So if you could just talk to landlords, just to have them go to the meeting, just to hear what it's about, that would be great, because this would really help us with our clients that we're about to have.